Learn to create the life you deserve and desire with my Couch to Healthy 12-week wellness program. In this program, you'll learn how to create the mindset needed for better health, healthy eating habits, proper exercise using the slow, easy method to burn fat, and some of the best strategies to get and stay motivated. The program is now 50% off for a very limited time. Click on the link in the show notes to learn more. For this episode, I was invited as a guest onto the Unwiring Minds podcast, hosted by Raquel Paz Bergia. A great episode in which we talk about mental health and the role mindset plays in overall health. It's not just about the physical health and doing the exercise per se, but equally as important is the mental health and mindset. After all, the quality of our life is based on how and what we feel, and how and what we feel is dictated by our thoughts and our mindset. Enjoy today's episode, all about mindset, mental health, and remember this: the quality and structure of your life is determined by what you focus on most exclusively.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Unwiring Minds. This is Raquel Paz Bergia, your host, and today we had Brad Carlson with us. He is a health coach, a wellness coach, and also a spiritual practitioner. Today, he's actually here to talk to us about how we can overcome mental health challenges through our mindset. So I'll let you get right to it.
Yeah, thank you, Raquel, so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Mental health is such a big part of our world nowadays. And I think for a long time, we've placed a lot of emphasis on the physical health, which is like the running, the exercise, and the diet and things like that. And I'm living proof that you can be really fit and maybe even physically healthy, but not mentally healthy and spiritually healthy. In fact, I tell people part of my story, my journey, the fitter I got, the stronger I got, doing triathlons and things of that nature, the worse off I got, like mentally and spiritually and things like that. And so I think it's really important that we understand mental health and mindset and the role that it does play in the quality of our life, because ultimately the quality of our life is based on how we think and what we're feeling. And if we can learn to harness the power of our mind to really program our mind how we want to think, and then to take charge of our emotions, to take charge of our feelings, our quality of life will will just increase exponentially. I can't even describe it. And so over the last couple of years, once I've learned to understand this power of the focus, what we focus on we become. That's what I tell everybody. It's such a powerful concept because what we focus on really determines the quality of our life. And so, what I try to encourage everyone nowadays is let's take a moment and just sit down and what are you focusing on? Okay, because often your focus and people aren't even aware of it. They're focusing on things that causes depression. They're focusing on things that cause anxiety. Oh, how am I going to make rent this month? Okay, well, what if something incredible happens? We all believe in miracles. So what if something amazing happens and you have more than enough money to pay rent? I mean, I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit there, but the point is what we focus on, we become. And so we really have to focus on exactly what we want in life, not what we don't want in life. Nobody wants to be depressed. Nobody wants anxiety. Nobody wants, low quality of life, low self-esteem like I had, or any of that. We all want the best life possible. And so to do that, we have to focus our minds on having the best life possible. That's what I always tell people. So sit back and just imagine and daydream the best life possible and start to focus on that and watch how your life will begin to change. But the tricky part with that is there's always a little caveat is you might tell yourself something and your heart or something goes, yeah, you're not saying the truth here, Brad. You're kidding yourself or whatever. And so we come across what are called limiting beliefs. And so we have to sit down, you get your pen and pad of paper out, and you get your journal, and you just start writing, what's going on with this limiting belief and everything like that. And you do the inner work. And again, you do the inner work so that, if you tell yourself something like, I am beautiful, that you actually believe it. if you tell yourself, I am enough or I am worthy, you actually want to believe that when you say it, and you want to mean it when you say it. And a lot of people don't. And so that's where the limiting beliefs come in. But I can't stress enough that what we focus on, we become. So let's focus on being the best version of ourselves, the highest version of ourselves, doing that inner work to overcome these limiting beliefs that we have, and just watch the quality of your life just skyrocket. It's unbelievable. And your thoughts will dictate how you feel, and how you feel will dictate the quality of your life. And so let's get everyone, getting their minds focused away from what is causing depression to what can cause awesomeness in their life. So a common question I ask when I'm working with clients, well, what is it that you do want, and what is the opposite of what you're thinking? And it's surprising how many times clients just like, I don't know. They don't even think, they've never even thought about, like, what is the opposite of depression? The opposite of depression is thriving, for example. So let's focus our thoughts on getting you thriving, and let's work on the limiting beliefs that are preventing you from believing that, I'm worthy of having a thriving life, and things like that. So something I'm very passionate about, and hopefully your listeners can take heed to this message, that really what we focus on, we become. Our thoughts dictate how we feel, and how we feel determines the quality of our life.
And how would you say we can try to get to that moment where we're actually believing the things that we say? Because some people,
Yeah.
they sort of affirmations to improve how you feel. It's sometimes hard to make them positive, because there's people that have really negative self-images, really negative thoughts. How do they reshape their idea of themselves to be able to say these affirmations and believe them?
Yeah, that's a great question, because, like I said, you can say, I am beautiful, or I am worthy, I am enough, and not believe it. And that's a huge part. And so that's why you can do all the affirmations in the world. And if you don't believe it, it's not going to do you any good. So you have to believe it. And so the way you get to believe it is you get your pencil, and you get your pad of paper, and you start writing. And there's a process that I take clients through, but it's something like this. It's like, okay, what is the thought that I'm having that I'm not believing? Like, let's say the thought is, I am beautiful, and I don't believe that thought. Your body's going to give you some sort of biofeedback that you're not believing it. Like for me, it's always that tightness in my chest. Like I'll say something like, oh, I'm worthy of $1 million, and I'll get this tightness in my chest, like, oh, that's a limiting belief. So that's so the first thing is, you got to know the thought that you want to believe and have be real in your life, like, I am beautiful. And you'll get that biofeedback that says that you believe it or you don't. If you believe that right away, you're going to have that heart chakra and the energy just flowing through you. Like
Yes.
I can say now and smile, I am worthy. You can see me start to smile now, because that I've worked on that belief for a long time, and I believe it now that I actually am worthy. So first thing is, have the thought that you want to become that highest thought. I am beautiful. I am, worthy of being a millionaire. I am a soulmate. I am worthy of a happy, healthy relationship. Whatever that thought is that gives you to the best part of your life. First, have the thought, then listen to the biofeedback in your body. And again, it's usually a tightness in the chest. The other day, it was a real pain behind my right eye here. Like I was working on a thought, and it's just this pain behind my eye. I couldn't. So that's the biofeedback, I know. So then I wrote that thought down. Okay, I am beautiful, and I just start journaling and just let my thoughts flow. Okay, what is it about this thought that I'm not believing? I'll ask a question like that. What is the belief that is causing me not to? What is the limiting belief that is causing me not to believe this, that I am beautiful? And I just start journaling, and I just let the journaling flow. And believe it or not, it's usually it depends. Sometimes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a page, sometimes 2 or 3 pages, that all of a sudden, oh, because somebody in fourth grade told me I was ugly, and I believe that. So there's the limiting belief that I'm really ugly. But then I ask myself, well, is that really true? So that's once you identify that limiting belief through the journaling portion, you ask yourself a basic question: is that really true? Am I really ugly? It's like, no, that's not true at all. I'm actually a well manicured, handsome young man, or whatever. That's the truth. And so you go through that process. Chapter 10 in my book, Mind Strong, I outline it perfectly. So anyone listening, they can go order my book, Mind Strong, read chapter 10. It explains this process exactly. But yeah, you have to overcome that limiting belief. And so when I tell people you have to do the work, most people think it's external. Like I need to sit down at the computer, make telephone calls, send emails, write curriculum, write program, produce content. None of that is true. Okay. That's always the byproduct. What you have to do is change the energy behind the work. You have to change the limiting beliefs. I'm a perfect example of this. I did all that for almost 2 years and got nowhere because I had so many limiting beliefs that was hindering the energy behind all that work. So I always tell people you have to not change what you're doing, but change the energy behind what you're doing. And that's where you have to overcome these limiting beliefs. So that's a real quick, I know we're limited on time, but that's a real quick, short example how you can identify a belief and then identify the limiting belief with that belief that you want and how you can overcome that. And I probably spend half an hour daily working on limiting beliefs. I was shocked when I really got into this about, I don't know, a year ago. I was blown away how many limiting beliefs I had in the areas of money, romance, vacation, career, family, just whatever issue comes up. Oh, I'm not a very good family member. I had that belief for a long time. And so I thought, well, what is the opposite of that belief? What do I want? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to be a positive, productive family member. So I wrote that down. I got that tightness in my chest. It's like I didn't believe that. And so then I just started going through that journaling process. What is the block that is preventing me from believing this about myself? And then I just 2, 3 pages of journaling, just let it flow. And then it's like, oh, because I did, X, Y, and Z back in fifth grade or sixth grade, or, something somebody said to me. And then I realized, oh, that's not really true. What is the truth is that I have the ability, the skills, the capabilities to be a productive member of this family. I just need to get out of my own way and let go of my ego. And then boom, that's the truth. And my family relationships have blossomed over the past, almost 2 years. So it's identifying the belief that you want to have be true in your life, what's holding you back from that belief, realizing the truth, and then going forward. And then it's spending, I tell people, it's one thing to go to the physical gym where you lift weights and, do shoulder presses and push ups and stuff like that. You have to go to I call it the self improvement gym, the inner gym, and you need to spend at least 30 minutes a day journaling and meditating, focusing on being that best, highest version of yourself. And you need to do this every day. I do it twice a day. I do, a 15-minute session in the morning, 15-minute session in the evening. And then throughout the day, when I'm driving my car, I'll do like a minute. I'll do a minute here, 30 seconds here, 2 minutes there, like 10, 15 times throughout the day. And that is so critical because we have on one end of the spectrum, we have love, and on the other end of the spectrum, we have fear. And fear is the stronger, I'll say, muscle that just pulls us, pulls us, pulls us. Fear gets us in a real tight death grip. And so we have to break that bond and work on developing the love side of us, the love muscle. And that's where going to the self-improvement gym every single day works out. And that's where most people make the mistake. They learn this stuff. Even I did this. They go to the seminars, they learn this stuff, but then they don't go to the gym. It's like buying a membership to a gym and then never going.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly. I feel like
yeah.
some people start thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but you really need to get yourself doing it.
Yeah.
About just thinking like, oh, I'll get to that, and procrastinating about it. But really, it's something that we need to sit down and work on ourselves this way. We have to find those limiting beliefs and understand how we really want to be and how we can get there. And this is a great way to start because, I mean, and to get there.
Yeah, again, chapter 10 of my book, Mind Strong, it talks all about this. But again, like when you go to the regular gym, you have a plan for the day. Today is going to be shoulder day or chest and back day or leg day or something like that. You have a plan of what exercises you're going to do, and you have a very clear intention of what you want to accomplish. When you go to the self-improvement gym and I sit down to work on limiting beliefs, it's the same thing. I have a very clear intention. I want to overcome this limiting belief. And I will sit there and write and write. I don't care if it takes me 10 minutes or a half hour. My life is worth it. Everything else gets put on hold until I overcome this limiting belief. I'm not getting up until I overcome this. And I've gotten pretty good at it now. Usually it's within a half hour of me journaling, I've gotten to the bottom, the root cause of the problem. And then I can replace it with that empowering belief. I now believe that empowering belief. So now I can say I am enough. You see, I am worthy. You see, I smile now. Wouldn't have been that way a year ago. So
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I think that this is the technique that a lot of people can utilize. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. It takes a small amount of effort to really put yourself out there and get the things that you want to get. Because, like you said, sometimes we believe we're not a good family member, we're not a good listener, there's so many things that we believe we're not good at. But if we really start setting ourselves out there and saying, I am a good listener, I am a good family member, I am a good, I don't know, there's so many things that we have to affirm and start believing. And so I really think that this process is going to help a lot of people get to what they
Yeah.
really want to get to.
Yeah, focus on exactly what you want in life. And if you don't believe what you want, then work on you've got a limiting belief or a block preventing you from that. Do the inner work. It is so worth it. Your life will change forever. And, I like to say I'm my best therapist. I don't have to spend hundreds of dollars going to any counselor. Anybody can do this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just overcoming the limiting beliefs, subconscious beliefs, and it's so worth it.
Yes. So, well, thank you so much, Brad, for being here. And thank you for all the knowledge that you shared today. I think I learned, I think the listeners learned as well. And so, yes, thank you. And to the listeners, I'll see you next time.